Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the discord.js series. So in episode 1 we got about online and listening to basic text messages like ping and YouTube. But let's be honest, text-based prefixes are outdated and slow and clunky, and modern Discord bots use slash commands. So in this video we're going to upgrade the bot to support native slash commands, and we are also going to cover embeds, like which will allow our bot to send beautiful and structured cards instead of boring plain text. So let's open up VS Code and continue with our work. So in VS Code I have the codeit bot open. So what we are going to do now is, in index.js file, after message create, I'm going to create an array called as const commands, which will include all our slash commands. So in that, right now I'm going to add two commands, which is ping and serverinfo. So what ping will do is it will reply with pong, and what serverinfo will do is it displays detailed information about the server. So these are our two commands. Now once we have done this, we will prepare the REST module. So we require the REST module for slash commands. So we'll prepare it like this. So this is the REST module. So const rest equals to new REST. Instead of this is discord.rest, and in that we are using the version 10, and then set token, instead of token just type in bot token, because in .env we have saved it as bot token. Now once we have done this, the second part is the registration of the commands. So right now we have created an array called commands containing the data Discord needs, like a lowercase name for the command and a quick description. Then we initialize the REST manager using the environment token, which we already stored in the previous video. Now we will deploy these commands globally, so they show up across every single server your bot joins in, and we wrap this in an async function because communicating with Discord's API takes a moment. So async allows to do that. So what we basically do is just bracket and then async, and then again bracket and an arrow function, and then here a try and catch code. So in try, just type in console.log started refreshing slash command. So this is what we needed, and then await rest dot put, and in that discord dot routes dot application commands. So this is what we need here. And now in application commands we need your client ID. So what is client ID? Basically ID of our bot. So if you just right click on it, you can use this copy user ID and go to .env and just here client ID equals to, and just paste it here, and then here just type in process.env dot client ID. Now once we have done this, after comma just type in body colon commands. So what this line does is, this line sends our array straight to Discord's official system, so those commands can be registered. And again a console.log, here you can type in successfully reloaded application commands. And now we will write an catch block. So catch error, and then console.error, and in that error, and here we'll just type this. It's an async function. And why we are using async function? Because communicating with Discord's API takes a moment, so that's why we are using an async function. Now once we have done this, what we can do is just like now we will deploy these commands. And how we can do it? Just open up your terminal and just type in node index.js. Now you can see started refreshing application commands and successfully reloaded application commands. Now these commands have been registered, but the bot does not know what to do when this command is being used. So I'll reload my Discord so we can see those commands. So if I type in /ping, you can see ping, and if I type in /serverinfo, then you can see. I'll show you in more detail, like codeit, and these two commands are there, but a bot doesn't know what to do when these commands are used. So we'll write that now. I'll close the terminal, and here we will create another event, which is interaction create. So right now we are creating an interaction when we use the slash commands. Right here we were using the message create, so we were creating a message when we were using this command. Now we are creating an interaction, so we are using interaction create. So client dot on interaction create, and then again a async function interaction and an arrow function again. Here if interaction dot is, if exclamation mark interaction dot is command, then return. Like if the interaction is not a command, then you have to like ignore it. Like if it isn't a slash command, then just ignore it. And now if interaction dot command name is ping, like we have already added this ping, then await interaction dot reply will be pong. So if we use the ping command now, it will reply with pong. So let's try this out. So we will open the terminal and again run node index.js. So it has refreshed the application command and reloaded the application command. Now if we go to Discord and just type in ping and use the coded bots ping command, yes, it has replied us with pong. You can see. Now let's create and reply for server info, and for server info we are going to create an embed. So else if server info, now we are going to create an embed. So for that, const info embed equals to new discord.embed builder, and once we write this, we will write in dot set color, and then you can use the colors from this list, and if you want a specific color, then you can use the hex code, but I don't want a specific color. I'll just use blurple, which is a mix of purple and blue, the Discord's logo color, and then dot set title, and in this there would be a formatted string which would be interaction dot guild name. So in which this interaction has been done, that guild's name will be there, like that server's name will be there, and then dot set description. Okay, yeah, here is some information about this server. Instead of, yeah, here is some information about bot test. The server name is bot test, so that would be there. Now we will add fields. Now when we add fields, we will add these two fields. We will add the total members, and we will add the time when the server was created. So these will be our two fields. So you can see the first name is total numbers, and in the value interaction.guild.member count. So in which in which guild this interaction is being created, that guild's member count, and inline true, and then created on this is the code to get the timestamp on which this server was created, and inline true means those both the fields come on the same line, not one above and one below. And now we will add a footer. So dot set footer, and in that text would be discord.js series 2026, and then we will also add set timestamp. Now we are done with our embed. Now how to send this? So same, await interaction.reply embeds info embed. Here also, instead of directly writing pong, we can write content pong, and if we keep ephemeral true, we'll see what happen. So I'll run node index.js again, and now if I type in ping, you can see, only you can see this message, so this message can be dismissed. That is ephemeral. And now server info. So this is the embed we can see. So here is some information about bot test. Total members are 8, created on 4 years ago, January 12 2022, 11:33 p.m. The footer discord.js, and then the timestamp today at 2:02 a.m. So right now the time is 2:02 a.m. Now we can also add an image, so if we want. So here after color dot set thumbnail, so we can set the guild's icon there. So interaction.guild icon URL dynamic true, and then new terminal, and again node index.js, and now if I use server info again, okay, set thumbnail, okay, I messed up the thumbnail spelling. I didn't write n, that's why it gave us an error. Now we will run, okay, sorry, server info again. Right now it didn't give us the thumbnail because our server doesn't have any icon, but let's add an icon to the server. So change server icon, we'll add the same and just save changes. And now let's see what do we get. Here you go, now you have the server icon. So this is how you create embeds. Like you can add set thumbnail, and you can also set an image below here. So if I go to, like, if I go to Google and just take a banner link, and if I come here and before footer dot set image, I can set the banner URL also. Now if I run this node index.js, the banner URL is basically the banner which we set for the server, which is this. Now if we run this, we will not get any image because there is no banner URL over there. It's the default. Now what we can do is, instead of banner URL, we can paste an real URL there, like this. Okay, wait, I'll just copy image address. This is a random image from Google, like just a gradient image. And if I run the index.js command again, and if I run server info, still the image is not there. I'm not understanding why the image is not coming up. Like, let's see on Google why the image is not coming up. Dot set image discord.js embed. Okay, what we can do is you can use a local image file, or you can directly enter a direct URL to that image. So what if we go to Imgur and just take a random image out of there? Yeah, like there are a lot of memes. Like if I just type in gradient, yeah, hashtag gradient, yeah. If and what if I allow ads? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, wait. Yes, yeah. And now open image in new tab. If I just copy this URL and go to Visual Studio Code again, and instead of this, if I paste this and then node index.js and go to Discord again, and then again go for server info, yeah, now I can see the image. So the previous image wasn't working because it was directly the image URL from Google. Now when I came to Imgur and then I opened the image, now you can see here it's getting .jpeg, so that's why it worked. So yeah, you can also add images like this. Yes, so like this is how you create slash commands. So we have officially moved our bot into a modern generation of Discord development. So as our bot grows, we will packing all our commands into like into one single index.js file is going to turn into absolute like disaster code. So in the next episode we are going to learn how to clean this up, like this whole file. Like we will only have very few lines in this file. Everything will be in folders in proper structure. So we will learn how to create a command handler and an event handler. So we'll break our commands and events into separate files and folders, so you can easily scale your project to hundreds of features. If you try to scale this project like using this one file, then it would take you a lot of time and it will not be worth your time. Like it will not function properly, you will face a lot of errors, and then you have to like look through the code. And even if you use AI, yeah, even if you use AI and tell AI to make a bot, it will by default create an command handler and an event handler. It will not create all the code in one file, and if you tell it to do it, it will create it, but handling that code will be very difficult. So in the next video we'll learn how to create a command handler and an event handler. So if you like this video, then please hit the like button, and if you like such kind of content, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.